The late afternoon sun cast long dusty shadows across the loading dock of the Crestwood Post Office Annex. Kevin Kev Johnson, a mail carrier on Route 14 for 5 years, was clocking out, his uniform damp with sweat. A man known as Joker, a local distributor for a major synthetic drug ring, stepped out from behind a line of parked delivery vehicles. Joker was dressed in flashy designer clothes, entirely out of place here. The air was thick with the smell of cardboard dust and stale coffee, heavy with the late summer heat. Kev wiped his brow with the back of a hand that bore a faint ink smudge. He hadn't been Kev in 4 months. He'd been an agent, playing a role in the long-running operation dubbed Operation Blue Seal, Joker moved with a practiced, predatory smoothness, his leather shoes silent on the oil-stained concrete floor. His silk-like shirt cost more than Kev's monthly salary, ostentatiously patterned with gold thread. Joker's presence here was a breach of protocol, a sign of his growing impatience and overconfidence. He had decided to bypass his usual low-level mules and confront the perceived linchpin directly. "Kev, my man," Joker greeted him, his smile too wide and unsettling, stretching the skin around his dark eyes. He was holding a thick, unmarked envelope, its contents hinting at the serious nature of the impending transaction. "Time for a little change in your routine, my friend. A slight adjustment to your delivery schedule." Kev leaned against the wire cage, deliberately affecting a mild, tired expression, letting his shoulders slump slightly, portraying the exhausted, overworked federal employee. "What can I do for you, Joker? I'm clocking out soon, and I've got a long drive home ahead of me." The feigned apathy was crucial. It made him seem like an easy target, susceptible to a bribe. "You run Route 14. That's the luxury townhouses and the old business park, right? A very lucrative area." Joker casually surveyed the empty loading dock, confirming their isolation. This was the moment of truth. "We've got some high-priority cargo coming in over the next few weeks. Special deliveries, very sensitive. They'll be marked with a little asterisk blue sticker, a small, discreet identifying mark. Like this." Joker pulled out a small, foil-backed adhesive dot, holding it up so the blue reflected the dusty light. This was the final piece of the puzzle, the code word and the physical identifier they had been waiting for. "They need to be diverted. No signature required. Absolutely no delivery scan. Just pull them aside. They go straight into my private box, outside the depot, first thing in the morning, before anyone notices." Kev scratched his head slowly, making the gesture seem weary and genuinely conflicted. "That's a felony, Joker. Tampering with the mail. That's federal property. You know, theft of government property, narcotics trafficking, you name it. That's serious federal time in a big house." He needed Joker to articulate the full scope of the crime and the associated threats on the recording. Joker chuckled, a dry, dismissive sound. He pulled out a thick sheaf of bills from the envelope, fanning them open. The notes were crisp $100 bills, freshly printed and smelling faintly of a bank vault. "Relax, Kev. You're a mailman, not a lawyer. We don't need lectures on federal statutes. This is $5,000 in cash, just for the first week, deposited right into your pocket. Think of it as a bonus for saving yourself a lot of paperwork and for being discreet. Plus, I know where your sister works. Man, the little clinic on Elm Street, right?" Kev felt a cold, professional anger settle in his gut. The lie about his sister was calculated. "And I know where she parks her beat-up little Civic. The one with the broken taillight." The details were likely generic or easily obtained, but the threat was specific and undeniable. He pushed the envelope into Kev's chest, forcing the carrier to take it, to touch the evidence. "Cooperate, and you're rich, Kev. You can retire early to a beach somewhere sunny. Refuse, and you're irrelevant or, worse. I'm sure you get my drift." Little mailman Kev looked down at the envelope in his hand, the cash inside making the paper crinkle softly. He registered the feeling of the money, the texture of the paper, all for the official report. Then he looked up at Joker. His eyes, usually tired and focused on the next block, were now sharp. The facade of the weary, simple mail carrier evaporated instantly, replaced by something cold and assessing. "Thank you, Joker," Kev said, his voice dropping an octave, losing all trace of the casual, slightly bored tone. "This is exactly what I needed. I appreciate you bringing it straight to me." Joker frowned, confused by the sudden, profound shift in the mail carrier's demeanor and vocabulary. "Nita, what are you talking about? Man, what's wrong with you? Did I scare you too much?" Kev dropped the envelope to the floor, letting the cash spill out in a careless, extravagant mess. The scattered green bills lay in stark contrast against the gray concrete of the loading dock. He reached inside his uniform vest, where a clipboard was usually tucked, but instead of pulling out a sorting list or a pen, he pulled out a gold-plated badge attached to a thick chain. The chain made a soft, metallic click as the shield of the law swung into view. "You're right about the felony, but you missed a few charges, including coercion and threatening a federal officer," Kev stated. He held the badge up for Joker to read, ensuring the insignia was perfectly visible in the fading light. The shield was that of the *** United States Postal Inspection Service PIS ***, the oldest federal law enforcement agency. My name isn't Kevin Johnson, Joker. It's *** Inspector Miles Chen, ***, and I'm with the PIS. And I'm not on Route 14. I've been running a route cover for the last 4 months to track your organization's distribution. Kuhn's real route was managing a large surveillance team in the PIS's organized crime division. The route cover was a deep, high-stakes infiltration designed specifically to net the mid-level distributors like Joker. We needed to establish chain of custody on your high-priority cargo and identify your methods. Joker's face went completely slack, the arrogant confidence draining out of him faster than air from a punctured tire. He glanced frantically at the single exit from the loading dock, realizing he was thoroughly boxed in by the secure walls and parked, immovable vehicles. Every conversation, every delivery attempt, every single piece of mail has been logged by me, including the 7 packages you thought were successfully delivered to the abandoned warehouse last week. Chen watched Joker's eyes twitch at the mention of the warehouse, confirming their operational intelligence. All those packages were documented and have been in federal custody since the moment I scanned them. We let those 7 go through because we needed to identify the receiving party and establish the full network. The blue sticker. We logged that signal pattern and identifier 3 weeks ago, waiting for you to make this final, conclusive mistake. He tapped the spot where the envelope had rested against his chest, right over his internal microphone. The threat against my sister, who, by the way, is a nurse practitioner on the other side of the state, was recorded perfectly. That recording confirms the essential element of coercion, providing the intent necessary for the highest charge. You've just foolishly handed the Postal Inspection Service all the final, damning evidence we needed for the grand jury indictment. Inspector Chen pulled a small, secure two-way radio from his belt, its casing specially reinforced for fieldwork. He spoke clearly into the mic, his voice low but carrying the authority of command. Alpha Team, the target is secured on the loading dock. I have a clean recording of attempted bribery and coercion. Confirming the identifier is the blue sticker signal. Stand by for immediate extraction and processing. From 3 different unmarked vehicles parked across the street and behind the annex. The response was immediate. 5 armed federal agents, dressed in dark tactical gear, swarmed the dock, moving with quick, practiced precision. They were PIS agents, highly trained, focused, and silent, closing in from multiple, overwhelming angles. Joker stood frozen, utterly paralyzed by the sudden, terrifying shift from casual threat to federal arrest. He watched helplessly as his $5,000 scattered uselessly, blowing across the concrete floor like confetti. The lead agent, a woman named Agent Davis, secured the area and gestured for the arrest. That's the difference. Joker, Chen said quietly, stepping closer as the agents moved in to apply the restraints. He reached down and scooped up the thick, heavy envelope of cash, holding it like trash. A mailman handles packages, delivers them safely, and processes the mail stream efficiently. A postal inspector, on the other hand, handles criminals who try to abuse, corrupt, and use that mail system for profit. Chen handed the envelope to Agent Davis, ensuring the chain of custody for the bribe money was pristine. Your delivery has been officially terminated. Mr. Joker, you have the right to remain silent. The click of the handcuffs was loud and final, echoing in the quiet, cavernous space of the annex loading dock. As the agents led a now silent Joker away, Chen knelt, pulling a small plastic bag from his pocket. He carefully picked up the scattered $100 bills, meticulously bagging the evidence for the finance team. The blue sticker, the bribe, the threat all confirmed the structure of the distribution ring. Operation Blue Seal was a success, and the mail was safe once again from those who would exploit its trust. Inspector Chen retrieved his badge and securely tucked it back inside his uniform vest. He smoothed the front of his sweat-damp uniform, the temporary identity of Kev, now officially discarded. The sun had finally dropped below the horizon, and the loading dock was plunged into the comforting gloom of evening. The real work, the intelligence reports and the follow-up arrests, was just beginning, but the crucial first step was complete. Chen walked back to the time clock, his boots solid on the concrete, no longer tired, but focused and energized. He scanned his temporary badge out for the last time, ending the long undercover shift of Kevin Johnson. Then, he walked out of the annex, ready to give his real report to the chief inspector and dismantle the rest of the network.